All right. Start it off? Yeah.
How do you go about evaluating character? That's something I know you rely on like a lot of games, and you look at small amount of time with you guys online and all their games. How do you go about making that step?
Sure. Well, yeah, at the combine, our time is very limited with players. You know, looking at 15 minutes with an interview. So most of our work on background and character and makeup is all done really in the fall when our scouts do their visits. Talking to coaches, talking to support staff, doing our background work a lot during the football season, and then we'll do some more work through this time of the year. But as far as at the combine, it's limited with time.
Given growth, when you first took the podium 2 years ago to now, you stayed with the roster.
Well, we're improving. We continue to add pieces each year. We'll add some more this year. But I think that we're working through the process, and we're much farther along, obviously, when we started, especially on offense and defense as far as the schemes we run. Players are much more comfortable in what they're being asked to do and what their roles are. Those were all things that the first year when Mike McCoy and myself started that we really had to put a lot of time into. And now it's about repetition and getting better at what we're doing.
So going back to the character issue, given some of the off-field incidents where Rice or Chief Cognito the last couple of years, is there more of an emphasis on character?
I can only speak for us. We've always emphasized it, so there's no change for us this year than it has been for in any other year. Well, I mean, to me, each year is different. So to me, what last year's receiver class did or are has nothing to do with this year's class. But I would agree with you. This is a very good class of receivers. It may be the advent that so many teams run spread offense and throw the ball so much. We're seeing more receivers at this level, much more polished. Most of these kids through high school, they're 7-on-7 camps in the summertime. In colleges, these receivers have been running routes and a lot of routes for a long time, and it's a repetition game. So maybe we're starting to see some of that at this level. It'd be back-to-back years that they're really a deep receiver group. And I'm not just talking first round, but really all the way through the draft. So, but it's certainly a very, very good group. It may take you a little more time. You're looking for traits and physical ability and traits of what they do, and a lot of that's just scouting. Route running and awareness and hands, and we can evaluate all of that. Every offense is different. Every quarterback with a receiver is different, but that's just part of scouting. It's always been like that. So, that's what our scouts get paid for. That's the plan right now. We think he has the ability to probably play a couple different spots, but right now the plan is to leave him out there. And he was uneven at times. I think early in the year, not so much physical-wise, but more technique. But he had some games late in the year that he showed exactly what he can do, which is he can pass protect on the right side. We know he's a great run blocker. He can move people. He's got great effort getting out the second level. His enthusiasm in the run game you can see that on tape and you can see that live. But in pass protection, he can do it out there. There's no doubt.
Which is the plan right now for DJ to play right tackle? How over the coming weeks and months can that change?
Well, I guess we'd probably. Like I said, the plan is right tackle right now. Things could change, through March, April, May, June, July. But it's not something that we're, actively looking at right now. Is where we're going to put DJ. Right now, DJ is our right tackle, and we're pretty happy with him there. Yeah, I've known Frank a long time, both professionally and personally. I'm very happy he's still with us. I think he's an excellent football coach. We're very lucky to have him. But obviously, as most coaches, they have aspirations to be head coaches someday, and he'll get a chance at some point. I'm sure he will. But like I said, we're really lucky to have him back, rather than not have to go to a new coordinator, 3 years in a row. But Frank's an excellent football coach, and I'm glad we still have him. I didn't hear the second part of that.
In the returning development, also.
Okay. Yeah, he got some opportunities late in the year, and he gave us a little bit of juice there. Certainly on kickoff returns, he hits the seam hard, and he's aggressive. He's got a track record of doing it in college. And he did some good things for us in the return game. And he played a little bit on defense. He got hampered early in the year with an injury. He had a great training camp for us. But he can play a number of different roles for us, either as an inside corner and nickel or play outside and instant return game. It's really about the same as it's been, I guess, the last time I talked. Ryan is a talented football player, and as everyone can probably see, we're a different team with him on the field, with his speed, his physicality, and his talent level. But we're still discussing some things. We'll meet with his agent again here at the Combine and kind of see where that leads us.
How much of a pleasant surprise was Brandon Allen last year for you? What do you see from him moving forward?
It was a great surprise, and really we could see it early in OTAs that we may have hit on one with Brandon, and he came in almost as a sponge and just listening and learning, and he has the physical ability, but he really caught on with the offense very quick. And with the injuries we had at running back this year with both Ryan and Danny Woodhead and Donald Brown, the fact that Brandon stepped in and played a lot of snaps for us and played at a really high level, not only in the run game but in the passing game, and did a tremendous job. So I think he's got a bright future.
Texas State punter, kicker Will Johnson, table 4. Texas State.
Good question.
Will Johnson, table 4.
I will say that the running back position is a lot of instincts. You either have it or you don't. And in Brandon's case, he kind of fell through the cracks. For us and a lot of teams, I guess we should have drafted him, and we didn't. We got lucky and got him as a college free agent. So, I can't really answer that, but he stepped in and did a tremendous job.
Talk about guys with character and kind of character being important. When you have a guy who has red flags or has issues in the past, how can he kind of satisfy you guys with almost beating that?
Well, it's a lot of the research we do talking to other people. No one's going to come in our room and talk to us and clean everything up face to face all the time. But you do a lot of background work on these players. That's what our scouts do. I mean, they're not only looking at their physical ability and their talent level football-wise, but they're doing a lot of research on them as people. A lot of that is talking to people and talking to sources, but every situation is unique to itself, and some take longer than others to work through, but you just keep working through it, and sometimes you get to a point where you feel good about it and it cleans up, and there's other times we just feel like it may be at high enough risk that you let somebody else worry about them. But it is a lot of work. We've always put a lot of work into it, and we think it's a big part of our program as far as guys that we can count on and are accountable.
A few years ago, I think Teo was kind of that was like the big, oh my gosh, characteristic. Obviously, he's on your team. You have that issues. Is that kind of maybe?
Well, I guess two things. One, we did a lot of work on Manti, number one. Number two, we never saw him with a character risk. We just had some things to clean up off the field with him that were unique, but there was never any red flags with character with him whatsoever.
A lot of talking here in town right now about the stadium situation. Do you have any concerns at all about that seeping into being a distraction or anything for the way you guys are doing business?
I don't think so. I know what our job is. Our job is to put the best football team on the field that we can and stay focused with that. So I kind of let the politicians and lawyers work on everything else, and we'll work on the football team. And I haven't seen it as a distraction at all as of right now. So we're really focused on doing our job.
You have a veteran established quarterback. How do you start the process of thinking of the future, what you're going to do after him? Is grooming, are those days going by the wayside now where you groom the guy to take over in a couple of years?
No, I wouldn't say that, but you always have your eye on the future as a general manager. But I think in Philip's case, at 33 years old, and you're seeing so many quarterbacks these days play really well into their 30s. I think he's got a lot of productive years in front of him. So, you're always looking in the future because we have some core players. Everybody has core players that once they get into their 30s, you have to be ready for the next person. But we're lucky enough with Philip, with where he is right now, how he's playing. We think he has a lot of good years left.
Tom, do you feel like with the coaching change in Denver and maybe whatever uncertainty there is on the Manning status, maybe there's an opening for the other AFC West teams that maybe there hasn't been in the last 2-3 years?
You know, when you're in our shoes, there's always openings. So, you know, you don't really look at anybody and think, oh, there's a bigger opening this year than last year. You know, we're all in this to win, and we're really more concerned about ourselves right now than anybody else. So I don't see any more this year than last year. I talked a little bit about that earlier, but you know, it's a very strong group. You know, I think the offense and defensive lines are very strong, and then the receiver group is right up there. And I think it's more than just the first-round receivers. I think they go deep all the way through the draft. And we had talked about earlier that you know, colleges are producing a lot of receivers right now, which is good for our league. Joe is a knowledgeable, energetic football coach. You know, I was with him for 2 years in San Diego. Did a great job with a good group. You know, he coached both inside and outside linebackers. He brings a great passion to the game. You'll see that in practice from the first day you're out there with him. Players love to play for him. You know, he's an all-football guy, and I think he's going to do very well in Washington. We're sorry to see him go, but it was a great opportunity in Washington.
What was the importance of adding someone like Nolan Murray to that spot to get drafted pretty highly the past few years, developing Anti, Jerry, some young guys who are developing undergo, have a guy like Mike?
Well, I think it's always key. You know, when you lose a head coach that, like Joe Barry, you know, we got very lucky to find someone like Mike Nolan with his background, his track record, both as a head coach and a coordinator. He just has a lot of experience. He has a lot of experience coaching in the defense that John Pagano runs. So it was a perfect fit, and we'll lean on him. You know, we use his experience, and like I said, that's a key spot. I mean, that's a lot of players to coach. And the inside and outside linebackers in our defense and all 3-4s are completely different positions. So you really have to have a large skill set to coach that, and Mike will be perfect. We're very happy to have him.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks.